Hello Internet and welcome to another episode of Bazzle Spotlight. As you can see, we have a fresh new team here to try and conquer the fresh new ladder with as well. These are going to be the first games I'm going to be doing on the new ladder since the reset on Battle Spot. And I'm interested to see how this is going to go because if you recognise this team, then maybe you played me on Showdown. I have laddered a few alts reasonably high-ish with this team on there, so I've got some confidence in the team. I think it is pretty solid. I say that, watch us lose 2 games or whatever, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. I quite like it. If there was a tournament tomorrow, I'd be entering with this team, I do think. So starting from 1,500, who knows who we're going to bump into, who knows what we're gonna get, how quick these battles are gonna go. So let's find out. Let's see. So you can see it's a pretty Trick Room reliant team, aside from the sort of Lilligant mode, I guess. So you'd expect him to lead with either a combination of Arcanine, maybe if it's got Raw, Garchomp, or Muck. That's what I'm going to guess. But what do we want to do here? Well, you might notice that I quite like using teams where I use sort of the same lead over and over and over again, and that's probably a recent thing, and it's not a good habit to get into. But I have got a lead that I do like with this team, and I'm thinking I'm just going to go with it. So Oranguru and Metagross, even though I have said that I think is probably going to lead with either, if not both, Garchomp and Arcanine, that's what it's called. I'm going to go with Metagross, and in the back, I do think Torkoal is quite nice here, and Snorlax too. So we're going to go full Trick Room with slow things in the back. Now, I suppose there's 1 or 2 tricks on this team. It is fairly straightforward, but it's quite interesting for me to use a slower, bulkier team like this than the sort of fast, hyper-offensive teams that I have been using over the past weeks with the Butterfree and the Scarf Nihilego and all the rest of it too. So I'm intrigued. I'm interested how it's going to go. So there we go. There's 2 of the 3 things that I was thinking of. Because he is sitting next to a Muck, I'm thinking that Garchomp is possibly going to go for some kind of Tectonic Rage into the Metagross, and possibly just a knockoff into the Oranguru as well. But I'm not too worried about that because a knockoff isn't going to knock out Oranguru, so I am just going to go for a Trick Room. And Metagross, there we go. This is the fun part of the team. I'm just going to explode. That basically forces him to target the Metagross. So whatever happens, okay, well this is going to go for a Rock Slide then. Fishing for a flinch, I suppose. Whatever happens this turn, I am losing Metagross, and I am getting some momentum as soon as Trick Room comes up. Or not, as a Rock Slide flinch decides to mess up the strategy there. At least we are getting a Trick Room off. Oranguru does not flinch there. I have got Telepathy and not Inner Focus on this Oranguru so that I can explode next to it. Okay, so I guess this guy's rating wasn't that high, which is fair enough. Knockoff might knock Metagross out in 1 hit, so already there's a bit of a spanner in the works here, so we're going to see how flexible this team is, I suppose. Garchomp could protect, because Metagross hasn't moved yet, I can lock into something else, I don't have to explode this turn. So, what do we want to do? Well, I think... What do we want to do? Good guess. Good guess. I think I'm going to protect and just explode. We will be losing a turn of Trick Room doing this. I am expecting potentially one of his Pokemon to protect as well, maybe the Garchomp. But no, he just goes for a knockoff into the Oranguru. Okay, so we will get the explode off. So we've wasted a turn of Trick Room, but basically this is what was supposed to have happened. Turn 1, basically. So we would have got Trick Room up, and he would have lost both of his Pokemon there and then. So there we go. So Metagross exploding already. So yeah, this is why I'm wondering how quick these games are going to go, because down here, it's not the bottom of the ladder, is it? I mean, the people down here will know, what they're doing, at least somewhat. But it is quite a punishing team, this one, if your opponent doesn't have anything to deal with Torkoal in Trick Room, basically. So this opponent, Arcanine resists fire, but like Arcanine does not appreciate taking 2 eruptions. Like it might extreme speed the Torkoal, even still, you know, the Tapu Koko is not going to enjoy taking 2 eruptions. So, you know, it protects and snarls. Again, it's not going to enjoy it in the next turn. So, you know, straight away, I'm thinking I've pretty much won this game. So we'll just lock these moves in. Instruct, never used like I've actually used Oranguru quite a lot on Showdown. I've never used Instruct in the game before, so this will be interesting to see how successful this works out. He actually protects the Arcanine, so he might be double protecting, but nope, he doesn't. He's just going to let his Pokemon go down. It's going to be single target on his Arcanine next, which combination of 2 single target eruptions will knock out. So yeah, so game over already. So you're going to see the climb here. Hopefully we're going to climb reasonably high with this team. I mean, well, I say that, you know, it never never does work out like that, does it? But, you know, you never know. So, here we go. It's just Instruct again and Erupt again. So, yeah, there's not really anything he can do to stop this. Doesn't forfeit. Just going to let his shiny Arcanine go down. And we'll, you know, start looking for another battle straight away. Citrus Berry, okay, so he's going to hang around for another turn. He's not going to win this battle with just that lone Arcanine on a tiny amount of HP. So, yeah, I do quite like this team. It has got different modes. As you can probably tell with the last team, I do like the combination of Lilligant and Torkoal. I do like Torkoal quite a lot. I mean, or it just knocks the Arcanine out straight away. Out of all of the weathers, historically, Sun has always been my favourite. But well, I say that, Tyranitar is one of my favourite Pokemon, but don't really use that for the weather. You know, didn't really like using Excadrill or anything like that. But I do like Sun, so I quite like using Torkoal here. I'm glad that it's a pretty nifty Pokemon now, so let's get into another battle. Let's start searching. You know, unfortunately, you can't learn Earth Power anymore, but that's not so much of a problem. There's no Heatran around. If anything, I suppose something like Power Gem maybe might be nice so that I can hit Arcanine super effectively. Maybe Hidden Power Ice to hit Garchomps. You know, just things that very commonly come in on fire attacks. But oh, we find someone actually with a pretty high rating compared to you know, compared to where I am right now. And this guy's got an interesting team with Beware and Trevenant and Vikavolt and Pelipper and Golduck and Garchomp, which is not interesting at all. So he's got his own potential Trick Room mode going on and his own sort of Rain mode, Fast mode going on, just like I do, sort of. So interesting. I mean, if I get the Sun up here, what can he do to stop me, really? I think he has to lead with his Garchomp, because he can't lead with his Pelipper and reliably get the Sun up, the Rain up. So I do think he's going to lead with his Garchomp. Do I go Trick Room or do I go Lilligant Torkoal here? Because my Lilligant has actually got a Sunny Day on it. So I'm thinking that could potentially help me win some Weather Wars. But if I did go with... yeah, I'm going to go with Lilligant Torkoal, actually. I mean, the Garchomp does scare me a little bit, I have to say. But otherwise, I think Oranguru is quite necessary here. But Hariyama or Snorlax is the other one. And, you know, I think I'm going to go with Hariyama in this one. Just because the moves I've got on Snorlax, I can't really hit that Trevenant too well. Close Combat is super effective on the Beware. I've got Knockoff on my Hariyama, which can obviously hit the Trevenant as well. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'd be nice if we could win this one and, you know, really give ourselves a nice boost from the start of the ladder. So, here we go. I think this guy was from Italy, was he? Yes, he got a Garchomp Trevenant. So you got to imagine the Trevenant is pretty threatened here. Maybe the Trevenant's going to switch into Pelipper. That would be my guess. So I can either go for a Sunny Day here and maybe protect Torkoal, or I can just go for a Leaf Storm into the Garchomp and maybe switch into the Oranguru. There's different ways I can play this. The Garchomp is a threat to me, so I do want to start getting some damage on it, I think. So I am going to go into the Garchomp there, and I'm going to put the Oranguru in. Oranguru can take oh, it actually switches the Garchomp out. Well, if this Pelipper coming in, then it's going to go down to its Sash, so I don't really mind that too much. I'm switching the Torkoal out too for, you know, potential weather control in the future as well. I'm just wondering what this Trevenant's going to do. If it's going to maybe Trick Room himself. Oh, he just protects, which is fair enough. A rain, you know, rain reducing eruption wouldn't have done that much damage to it, I don't think, but I don't know. I suppose it was fair enough him doing that. The Lilligant is going to be faster than the Pelipper, so I could target that again with another Leaf Storm, but I mean, he doesn't really get anything from going for a Tailwind because I can just Trick Room here. He might Trick Room himself. I mean, he might be wanting to try and Hurricane my Lilligant, I'm not too sure. The Trevenant can't really do too much to my Oranguru, I don't think, unless it's got a Wood Hammer, which I suppose it might do. I mean, it is fairly obvious to just sort of Leaf Storm the Pelipper, isn't it? I don't really need to Sunny Day here, but I will do it just to be safe, I guess. And I'm gonna just Psy-Shock into the Trevenant here too, and see what we can get going. Yeah, so I'm not surprised on that switch. It's probably the Garchomp coming back in. Yeah, kind of makes me think maybe I should have gone for a Trick Room there, but still, this Leaf Storm should do, yeah, maybe about 25% to the Garchomp. Yeah, which is a decent chunk. And we'll see if the Trevenant's gonna Trick Room here, because that's the other thing that I thought he might be doing, but maybe not. Oh, he does actually. Okay. Okay. Well, that is indeed interesting. So, I haven't actually taken any damage yet, and I've dished out quite a bit, but he's got the momentum now, I suppose. Garchomp, I mean, my Lilligant in Trick Room should be faster than the Garchomp. It's just, you know, doesn't have any special attack anymore. Oranguru isn't really threatening that much offensively. I could bring in the Hariyama for the Lilligant, which I think I'm going to do actually, because then I can knock off the Trevenant, and with the Oranguru, I think I will just, I think I'll just Psy-Shock the Trevenant again, because I don't think that'll put it, I mean, it'll be close putting it into Citrus Berry range, if it has got the Citrus Berry on it, but it'll definitely put it in range of knockoff if I don't put it into Citrus range, so we'll see. That is, oh, it's just in Citrus range. And he Poison Jabs into Hariyama. I have got the Flame Orb on this Hariyama. That took quite a bit of damage, actually. But no need, because he poisons me too. And he Trick Rooms then. Okay. So, interesting moves. So if I get Sun Up, my Lilligant will be threatening this Garchomp a decent amount. The Trevenant actually doesn't have Citrus Berry on it. That's just my assumption going from past years there. Okay. How do we want to play this then? We could Fake Out and Trick Room. We could go for a knockoff and a Trick Room, because that means either we knock off the Trevenant, or get Trick Room. Just thinking what this Garchomp's going to do. I have actually got Wide Guard on this Hariyama too, but the problem with Wide Guard is they can always have Tectonic Rage now, and that's obviously not very good. But I think I am actually going to go for a knockoff into the Trevenant, and I am going to go for a Trick Room, because either way I think I'm going to get something from this turn. So it is a Z move, I think, coming out. Oh no, it's not, because I thought there was like a pause and I thought something was happening. And he actually gets a critical hit there, so that's really unfortunate, because if he's going for a Trick Room as well, which he isn't, then he would have just sort of nullified my Trick Room, and that wouldn't have been very good. But the annoying thing is now, he's got his Pelipper switch in, which will go down, obviously, to the Eruption. It's on 1 HP, but it means that he will be able to stall out my Trick Room that little bit more. So that was kind of annoying, really, just because I would have got a knockoff onto the Trevenant, and you know, the knockoff on the Trevenant isn't really that big, but it means that he's down to 3 Pokemon, and so his switching options are reduced for the Weather War in general. So Garchomp, interesting that he did go for another Poison Jab. Maybe he hasn't got the Zed move. Maybe it's a... No, I don't think it's Assault Vested. Maybe it's something. Who knows? But, you know, the Pelipper is definitely coming in here. And it's probably going to be for the Trevenant. So... what do we want to do here? I mean, we're kind of stuck for options, I suppose, aren't we? I'm going to put the Lilligant back in. And if I've got time, I'm going to try and Psyshock the Garchomp. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, we're kind of baiting the Pelipper here. But the annoying thing is, like I was saying, he has got the switching options now, and could just switch around and again keep bringing it in. I suppose I should have, because I knew that was going to happen. I should have just Psyshocked the Pelipper and knocked it out. Now he can switch it out, can't he? Okay, so what's coming in now? Beware coming in. Well, that's kind of scary. So, Beware, don't really know too much about. It's a normal fighting type, isn't it? So, okay, it's actually 2-hit KO'd by that. Which is nice. That is interesting. Pelipper, what is Pelipper going to do? I mean, what item does Beware normally have? Because obviously I do threaten it with an attack from my Oranguru. So I think the Pelipper switching out is very obvious. But Beware, like that's not Assault Vest, is it? Or it might be actually, this is Psyshock, not Psykick. So I am just going to go for another Psyshock into the Beware. But I think both of them potentially going to switch here. I think, like, I'm leaving the Pelipper alone. If it stays in, maybe it's going for a Hurricane, which I'm hoping, you know, in Sun now, will not hit the Torkoal, but I do expect him to switch out. But actually, he doesn't. So he's kind of sacrificing a little bit of momentum here, a little bit of control on the board, and he does go for a Hurricane, and Torkoal does, yeah, good. So we'll say that you know makes up a little bit for the Hariyama critical hit, I suppose, with the Poison Jab, expecting Garchomp to come back in here. And Pelipper can Wide Guard too, which is something that I do always need to consider. But they never do have Wide Guard, do they? I mean, this team was Trick Room with a sort of fast mode, wasn't it? So maybe it doesn't have Tailwind, because yeah, normally the Hurricane, Scald, Protect, and Tailwind, aren't they? So we'll see. I mean, he's taking his time to you know, bring this Pokemon, but I think it will be Garchomp that comes in. Looking at the -2 -2 Leaf Storm damage on it, I don't think that is Assault Vested. It's just, does he have Wide Guard or not? Because if he doesn't, then I can just Erupt all over him, and I guess that's what I'm going to do. Just going on the assumption that Pelipper don't normally have Wide Guard. I don't know, looking at his team composition, if there's going to be a Pelipper that does have Wide Guard, I think it's going to be this one, but I don't know. I mean, if he switches the Pelipper out for his Rain in the future, which he may well do, nothing really is going to appreciate taking 2 Eruptions here. The Garchomp might Protect here too. Yeah, so that's exactly what's happening. So it's going to be his Trevenant that comes in and going to be going down. Kind of expect to see the Garchomp Protect here, but it doesn't. So you know, maybe it is Assault Vested. Maybe I don't know my calculations that well, or maybe it isn't. And yeah, he's just going to go down to these 2 Eruptions. Yeah, that's definitely not Assault Vested. So yeah, good old Torkoal doing the business and erupting all over with its mighty plumes of fiery rage. There you go. So goodbye Garchomp. So he's going to get the Sun up, the Rain up rather, obviously, but it's just going to be Pelipper by itself on 1 HP. With one more turn of Trick Room to contend with as well. So maybe Beware was Assault Vested. You know, that's just a guess. You know, being the kind of Pokemon that it is, you know, slow, bulky sort of thing. Can obviously take a lot of hits with Fluffy as well, which I think is its ability. So yeah, just not going to mess around with this, just going to bring Lilligant back in, which will be faster out of Trick Room, and I can Psyshock it in Trick Room. I have got Psyshock on this Oranguru as well, mainly for Nihilego, but I suppose if, you know, Assault Vest Beware does become a thing, it helps out with that too. So there we go. We've had 2 pretty decent games. The first one started off pretty strangely with the Rock Slide, I guess. But there we go. A good solid game against you know, a decently rated opponent there to finish us off on this very Monday. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Stay tuned. I will be uploading more with this team later on in the week as well. You know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday we've been doing, haven't we? So I hope you still, you know, enjoy it. I hope you'll still stick around and watch my videos. So thank you, guys, and goodbye for now.